Well, good morning, good morning, good morning, and away we go. It is showtime. Woo! Tracy said always on time. You know what? I was a few seconds early today. Sometimes I like to freshen it up, keep you guys on your toes, keep our relationship fresh and new. Don't ever want to lose the spark, right? Woo! Speaking of spark, I got a spark up my ass yesterday and I did a ton of yard work. Damn. I don't know if anybody saw my Facebook picture, but I look like something from the grapes of effing wrath. Did you guys see that? Woo! Dirty toes. I'm all scratched up from all the farming I've been doing. OJ was no help, but it is what it is. Susan said, I did. Well, Susan's not going to say too much about that. Mermaid said, you inspired me. Yeah, and there was not even any box wine included. That was just pure fat white girl labor. It was insane. What to do? Well, today the title of the show is The Lyin Dogs. It is what it is. Like Katie said, it is what it is. The Lyin Dogs. Jenny, Chaos and Crime said, I seen your toes. I thought I clicked on an OnlyFans. Well, if they look that good. No, I'm no Candace Wells. I don't sell my body parts. So we heard on Monday was the last time we spoke about Sebastian and how Mr. Proudfeet, Chrissy Poo, he enlightened us on how canine dogs work. Now, I want to know, since he said these dogs, he doesn't know how honest they are and they are dishonest, how did they get their national certification to even be a canine dog? I've heard of a lot of things, and I've called people over the years, you lying dog, but nothing like this. Nothing. Woo, it's been quite a week. It has been nuts. Let's take a second and tell everybody happy Baby Friday. Welcome your neighbor. So glad you guys are here. And I realize that I don't talk about Sebastian's case as much as other people do, and that's okay. That's okay. We have a lot of things to talk about amongst friends, do we not? It's not that Sebastian isn't important. It's just some of the topics are not important to his case. Although we are being told that there really isn't a case. There's no criminal investigation. Well, you can pull the black fur off the OJ, but it's still an OJ. All right? They have to be investigating something because he's missing. He's nowhere to be seen. Unless he's photoshopped into something. They have to be investigating something. Chris slipped and said you were in that meeting and the DA was there. What is the DA? Was he just using that room, that conference room, to have his lunch? No. He's advising law enforcement on what he needs to prosecute, of course. Look at Pat K. Already making it rain. Let's see the music.
Raining man, hallelujah, it's raining man. Amen. I'm gonna go out.
Thank you so much, Pat K. Me love you long time. How the hell is it not a criminal investigation if they haven't ruled out foul play and they haven't found Sebastian? And way to go, Chrissy Poo. for letting it slip when you thought you were talking amongst friends, you dildo. You know you were in that meeting with the DA. Call me Mark Safe because I haven't had any meetings with the DA lately. Ooh, I'm going to have a meeting with Snow, though. Look at that. Gifting a Crime Lines and Laws membership. So is Jules. Girls, what am I going to do with you? Going to keep having me play that music over and over. Explain it to me. Explain it to me. I don't need law enforcement to tell me what they're doing. Hell no. God forbid they're ever transparent with our tax dollars. They keep everything to the vest. For very good reason, I will say. Because the last thing you want to do is tell the criminals how close you are to finding them. Okay? This is a true story. You don't want to do that. Look at that. Angel P's not a criminal. Just gifted Crime Lines and Laws membership. You girls making me blush. I think it's about spanking time. YouTuber said CP will mansplain it to you. They said no evidence of foul play. Super. That's actually good news, right? That means nothing foul happened to Sebastian. We don't want anything bad to have happened to Sebastian, except for the motherfucking obvious. He's missing. My friends, he is missing. He has not been seen since he was at the restaurant. He's missing. Okay. Had a lot of people message me and say, what do you think it's going to take for the FBI to finally take this over? A call from the president? That's the type of things that the FBI takes over. I'm not trying to hurt Seth's feelings, but let's look at the cases that the FBI took over and they said, this is my baby. You guys have nothing to do with it. If we need you, Boy Scouts, we'll call you up. Political pressure is what gets the FBI involved. I am not saying that Sebastian is not important. But to people with deep, deep, deep pockets and dirty shit they want covered up, they are not going to use the Men in Black. Oklahoma City bombing, they took that over. 9/11. James Byrd, they did not want that case at all. The sheriff was begging them. I mean, begging them. And it wasn't until the president was on TV talking about how horrific the case was, and they went, oh shit. Now we've got to take it over. The Olympic Park bombing. By the way, they screwed that up big time. But you see what I'm talking about. I had a comment the other day and they said, well, if it goes across state lines by law, they have to take it over. Hell, they do. They will still assist. They're not just going to take it over. But hey, wishful thinking. Wishful thinking. They are involved. And there's a difference between them being involved and them totally taking the case over. Some of these people, I wonder, when you were in school, did you just show up for the smoke hole and the Frito pie? Or did you actually pay attention for a second? Just a minute of your day, did you learn a damn thing? I don't know. We're going to try to learn it together, though. I got to play the music. Look at you guys. Gifting and gifting and gifting. Wendy said both. So you like the Frito pie and you went for the smoke hole, Wendy? Woo! Woo! Then you could teach some people some stuff. Luna said FBI will offer help and resources, but will not take over the case. No, they won't. So when people say, if you cross the state lines, Brooks, they have to, by law, they have to. Oh, shut up. Bend over. Bend over. We have a case in the panhandle of Oklahoma that definitely crossed state lines. They assisted. They assisted. If this case turns out that it does cross state lines and there is something they need to investigate another state, they're going to give it to the local authorities. Well, they won't. The local authorities will take over their state bureau, and again, they will assist. Until you get old Sleepy Joe on TV saying, we got to do something about Sebastian, you're not going to have the FBI taking it over totally. That's the only TED Talk I have for today. All right. Speaking of Lyin Dogs, woo, what is happening this week? You got some problems around here. I'm sure everybody saw this. And no, I do not think the woman that posted it is the one that made it up. But somebody did. You guys have all seen this spaghetti pancake mess, have you not? Hello, my friend. A local here in Hendersonville saw this kid in North Carolina this past weekend. The resemblance to Sebastian is uncanny, and yes, she called into the TBI tip line. Lie. This was never called in. The good people on social media, when this went crazy, they called it in. Nick Barris confirmed that. Word to the wise. And I realize I'm speaking to the choir here because you guys are very smart. Actually, you know what? Let's play a game. Let's say you're at Dollywood this weekend and you see a child that is almost like a doppelganger to Summer Wells. I'll use Summer Wells. Would you take a picture and send it to Facebook? Or would you call the authorities and say, listen, this child looks exactly like a missing little girl out of East Tennessee? What would you do? You'd call the police. She goes on to say, does anyone recognize the woman he was with in the pink shirt? This woman is being harassed like hell. People are saying it's Seth's sister. What the hell is wrong with these people? He didn't seem in distress or uncomfortable. How would you know from a picture, dildo? My friend said that you could tell he knew the people he was with. Really? She paid that much attention? She paid that much attention that a child that resembles Sebastian, she knows all of these mannerisms of the child. She could tell he was comfortable? How would you know? I wouldn't know. Same at the local racers. I ignore kids for the most part. I really do. I just don't pay enough attention. How am I going to know if they're comfortable with who they're with or not? This was a paid entrance to a visitor center off the Blue Ridge Parkway. So there should be cameras in the area and inside the visitor center. What do you think? Well, obviously someone had a camera because I took a picture of this child, which I don't think this is a real child. We'll get to that in a second. Someone had a camera. You're saying, oh, I guarantee there's cameras by the visitor center. Well, who needs the cameras? Somebody had a camera. And attached to that camera on that phone is a dial pad That's not just 1, 2, 3, 4. It's got a 9, a 1, and a 1. If you truly thought you saw Sebastian. All right, so now we get to this. Okay, there's the photo. From this photo, this woman could tell that he was comfortable with who he was with. I couldn't tell you. Looks to me like he's just looking at the ground. Then we get to this. Nick Barris in Nashville spoke to law enforcement. They put it through something called an AI generator. 92.89%, this was AI generated. 7.11%, this is an actual human. Who's the Lyin Dog now? And this woman that posted it, she's being dragged through the mud. Who's the friend? Is the friend Chrissy Poo? Did Chrissy Poo get upset because of the total ass, no ass he made out of himself last weekend? I don't know. Don't come to me for any sort of AI generated anything because I don't know how to do it. So they've analyzed this image. They're like, no, this is AI generated. Sorry. What to do? I mean, really, what to do? I'm going to get to a very, very important comment that I came across in Trevor's Facebook group. If you're not a part of it, if somebody could please post it in here. There is a lot of very thoughtful conversation, factual conversation regarding Sebastian. No drama, no crazy memes like you get in my Facebook group, thanks to Elm. Let's look at this comment together. All right. Our friend Trevor posted this. This is according to No Ass Chrissy Poo. Chris hasn't seen Sebastian since, at minimum, early February. These are his words. Yet he knows Sebastian wasn't overstimulated on February 25th. Chris hasn't seen Sebastian since early February, but he's out here explaining how they spend time with him. How does that work? Someone help me out here because I'm pretty sure the school librarian saw Sebastian in February more than Chris did. Can I get a boom boom? If he hasn't seen Sebastian since, let's say, the end of January, it seems for some reason, remember what we talked about on Monday, the common denominator between these two men is actually not Sebastian, because Seth wants his son back. Chrissy Poo could give a shit. He could care less. OJ, can I help you? What are you doing sighing over there? You're so overworked, OJ. Their common denominator between Seth and No Ass is Katie. It's Katie. And she's the only one not talking. Two men, two very important men in Sebastian's life had no sighting of him in the month of February. Why? It's not like No Ass was working on a pipeline in Alaska or in Louisiana. He's just down the road in Memphis. He could have come home every weekend. Why was he alienated from his father in February? What happened in the month of February that Miss Proudfeet had to keep her ex-husband and her current husband away? I don't know. Doesn't make any damn sense to me. At all. My girl Tiffany said, Katie has all the answers to our questions, but she is quite the puppet master. Because who's doing all the talking? It is Seth and no ass Chrissy Poo. All right, let's get to it. This is very important from Nick Barris. He was not at all happy about the artificial intelligence that said it spotted Sebastian. And when people say, oh, well, they're taking it seriously, they're investigating, they have to. They have to. So, going forward in these cases, when people are screaming from the rooftops, what is law enforcement doing? Why can't they find anything? Why aren't they updating us? Because they're dealing with bullshit. Okay? They're dealing with bullshit. Whoever did this, I hope they're happy. Because even if it's just one detective that had to switch their attention from Sebastian's case to proving a lie, well, that's one less law enforcement authority whose resources were wasted.
Tips are the key to leads, which can guide authorities to missing persons. And detectives in the Sebastian Rogers case have vetted hundreds of them, including an interesting one just this past week. Sebastian, an autistic 15-year-old, disappeared from his Hendersonville home on February 26th. Despite a massive search effort, crews found nothing. Could the teen be a crime victim?
We have not cleared anyone, but we have absolutely no evidence to support foul play.
Still, authorities do not rule out the possibility Sebastian was taken.
I swear that officer looks just like Colin Farrell to me. Just like him. And you have to feel horrible for Seth. Because let's think about it. His heart's in the right place. Of course he wants this to be his son. Of course he does. I feel horrible for him. I'm going to put the link up. See if anybody wants to come chit-chat about what's been going on this week. Yeah, does that officer not look like Colin Farrell? I couldn't imagine how Seth feels. Now he's over in North Carolina? How's he going to track down this picture? How? The police have already said it was AI generated. Feel horrible for him. Guess who's not there? The Proud Feets. They're not there. Why aren't they there? That's the question we need to be asking. Why aren't they there? What mother wouldn't have hightailed it? Snow said, wait, I thought Ellie said it wasn't false. I'm going off of what Nick Barris posted, that law enforcement said this was AI generated. So why aren't they there? What to do?
From the area. News Channel 5 has learned just this past week, Sumner County Sheriff's detectives investigated a tip where a witness recently came forward to say he saw two vehicles stopped suspiciously on the shoulder the night Sebastian disappeared. This was on a road several miles from Sebastian's home, and the witness said it appeared two men were forcing something into the trunk of one of the cars. Officers have since investigated, and they say they have found no connection to Sebastian's case. But they do want people to continue calling in tips in a timely fashion for authorities to vet.
And anytime the sheriff's office indicates or TBI indicates where you've got an area of interest that we need to search, we're ready to go.
It's been 2 months since Sebastian went missing, but authorities will never stop working the case. Consider that detectives in Nashville say they still follow up tips on Tabitha Tudors. The 13-year-old disappeared more than 2 decades ago on her way to school.
At least if you're getting some tips, it's just a matter of getting that right tip that comes in.
With no trace found after so many thorough searches and the absence of any physical evidence, it all now does come down to the public. If Sebastian or Tabitha are ever to be found, detectives say it will likely be the result of a tip.
Yeah, and a credible one at that. A credible one. Very interesting that someone called in that there were 2 vehicles on the side of the road the night he disappeared, and they were putting something in the trunk. Now, they said they have investigated that. It is not related. So at this point, with the dogs lying to everybody and no physical evidence, they're going to need a tip. Who can give them a tip? Well, we know 2 men in Sebastian's life didn't see him the month of February. Doing the math, it just comes down to KP. It just comes down to KP. That's it. Woo! What are we going to do here, my friends? What are we going to do? Let's go through the timeline. This is from our friends at When Evil Entered. Love how they did this.
Still missing from Hendersonville, Tennessee in Sumner County.
Oh gosh, we love you so much, and we want you to come home, and you're not in trouble. He was playing in his room. When I told.
Okay, I'm going to be stopping this a lot. What did you all think when OKP is rocking and rocking and rocking, kind of like Jen Soto in the Madeline Soto case? Just come home. You're not in trouble. Why would he be in trouble? You said you haven't argued with him in 2 weeks. Very odd you said that. Because Jen Soto said the same thing about Madeline. We haven't argued in like 2 weeks. Come home. You're not in trouble. Listen to it again.
Sebastian Rogers is still missing from Hendersonville, Tennessee in Sumner County.
Oh gosh, we love you so much, and we want you to come home, and you're not in trouble. He was playing in his room. When I told him to go to bed, he did. He said, "Good night, Mom. I love you."
Katie says she went to wake up Sebastian around 6 a.m. Monday for school, and he was gone. Within minutes, Katie says she was on the phone with Chris, who was working out of town. And
working out of town, not just that weekend, but the whole month. His words, not mine. Seth's words, not mine. They didn't see Sebastian the month of February. I know Seth has gotten a lot of heat for that. Well, why didn't you put your foot down? Why didn't you do this? Why didn't you do that? I don't know. I can't speak for him. A lot of people want to know during this interview, why was she being nudged by no ass? This is crazy. You're not in trouble. Why would he be in trouble?
they quickly called 911.
And he's not a runner. He's never run away before. I don't know why. I don't know why he walked out that door.
Why are they so adamant that he just walked out that door? How can you for sure say he walked out the door? I don't understand it. It doesn't make any sense. There should just be a huge question mark. I want to wake him up. And by the way, I've been kicked in my lady balls for this a couple of times. I do think time is really important. There's a big difference between 6 a.m. and 6:30 a.m. So which is it? You went to wake him up at 6 a.m.? Or was it 6:30? Because your local news, it said 6 a.m. Another interview, it said 6:30 a.m. So what is it? Your narrative, I guess, should have been written down. Somebody should have gotten you some flashcards.
He's a good kid. He's not a mischievous child by any means.
Katie and Chris say Sebastian is not on social media. While he loves to play Minecraft, they tell me he does not have any online capabilities.
I'm Seth Rogers. I'm looking for my son, Sebastian. Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers. I'm his dad. He's missing. I have to find him. It doesn't look like they're doing it, so I'll do it on my own if I have to.
Understandably, there is interest in hearing from friends and family to help provide more of a personal context about Sebastian. However, we have been requested by the family to let local media know that they are not in a position to speak to or be available to the media at this time. We have told them that while we would relay their message, it would be the decision of the individual media outlets and reporters to proceed as they see fit.
That son, a son. It does not matter. That boy is loved by me just like he is my own. Just like he's my own. Let me just smash something real quick.
Make it crystal clear, no ass. Make it crystal clear. Just like he's my own. Just like he's my own. I love him just like he's my own. Who are you trying to convince? Your boo? Yourself or the rest of us? We're going to immediately think, of course you love him, would we not? It's a pretty easy assumption, but he's convincing everyone. We know how you treat your own. Listen to him again.
Be fit.
That son, a son. It does not matter. That boy is loved by me just like he is my own. Just like he's my own. Let me just smash something real quick.
Okay.
Okay, first and foremost, anything that goes on between me and my wife is not a damn bit of anybody's personal business. I don't care what you think. I don't care what y'all got to say. That'd be like me splashing all your business out to the world.
Okay.
It does not matter.
Splashing all of your business out to the world. My child's not missing. Anyone in here have a missing child right now? My goodness. Say it, don't spray it, no ass. None of your business, none of your business. You think that the history, what led up to the month of February, isn't important? You think Sebastian was getting sick of being picked on? Laughed at? about how he drank his chocolate milk. Got tired of coming home from school and seeing that yet something else was missing from his bedroom. Wearing pull-ups. 15 years old. Talk about eggs in China. It's all relevant.
What goes on in my house? We're looking for my son.
It's actually been over 2 months now. Of course, they say it's an investigation, but it's not criminal. We have no physical evidence. Looking for tips. The only tip I can think that's going to help them would be from the person that was for sure in the house, because I can't put where anybody else was. And that would be OKP. Why would you call someone 3 hours away that hasn't even been home all month long and think he's going to give any whiff of a shit about Sebastian? He's too focused on getting one over on Nina because he's trying to get custody of his daughter with her. I still want to know how in the world that was going to work out for him. Now, they weren't around each other for the whole month of February. However, now they can't get enough of each other. Ooh, it's like a Hallmark card. How to rekindle your marriage. Wow. All right, I'm going to go through the rest of the Web Sleuths interview to hear more insight from Noas and just the way he talks down to Seth. The disrespect pisses me off to no end. Whether you like Seth or you don't like Seth, I don't think he's here to be liked. But he is Sebastian's father. He doesn't owe anything to the Proud Feets. So who is he to talk down to him? But he slipped, and he slipped big time, because he said, you were in that meeting with the DA. Ooh, boy.
If I send you an email on Monday and Tuesday, I'm not willing to wait a week to get a response back. I mean, that's unacceptable when we're trying to find Sebastian, buddy.
I understand what you're saying. I respect that. But when it comes to you asking people to come into my house on my property, who I don't know Adam from Eve, and I really don't care what certification, who can vouch for these people, I don't care. I'm going to do exactly what I have always been doing.
Okay, let's talk about that. Since when is Mr. Proudfeet so concerned about his home? His sanctuary, I should say. He wasn't there for the whole month of February. And rumors are afloat that there was at least one man that was in his house that I guarantee only one person can vouch for. And that's old Harley Ho Proud Feet herself. Have a feeling that thud that Mr. Proudfeet heard had nothing to do with Sebastian.
You send that to me.
Okay,
We're going to
well,
review it, and then we're going to send it to
I'm
law
going to interrupt you,
enforcement.
Chris.
Let law enforcement go that route,
The
and then when law
spokesperson
enforcement comes,
speak for us doesn't
Hold on.
need to be on your property.
Hold
see,
on,
this
Chris.
is
Chris, hold on one second. Hold on. Seth, what did you say?
I said,
You guys, this Christopher Larson is rumored to be Lisa K. Ruitt's. I see this person got timed out. It is not the Christopher Larson that was at one time married to Rose Bly. And if you notice in any of the chats, when Christopher Larson pops up, you can see who else pops up, but not at the same time. So we're just going to ignore that stuff. Terrible attitude from the host. Huh.
the person to be our spokesman to speak for all three of us doesn't need to be on your property.
Okay,
But
you're
yeah, you
correct.
have
You are
spoken
very correct.
to him
I have spoken to him,
when
and I'm going to make this public. I am back working, and I have work hours. I also have to sleep, and unfortunately, I'm on the opposite schedule.
Damn, Don Wells Jr. I have to work hours. And I also have to sleep. So I'm on an opposite schedule. I don't think he's asking for your every second of your day. He's talking about an email. Lucky for you, you can sleep. Because most parents of missing children don't even know what sleep is. They can't get any sleep. They can't. Think about a very good friend of this channel, Brandy Neal. If she sneaks into, 30 minutes, 2 hours here and there, it's amazing. She's worn herself down to nothing. She still sleeps in the living room because she thinks that Michael is going to walk in that door. And she doesn't want to miss him. She's afraid to go to sleep. But now we have Mr. Proudfeet. I have hours to work. And I've got to sleep.
Of you. So respect that. I will do what I can as I can when I can.
I'm sorry, Seth, go ahead.
When did you speak?
Okay. I will do what I can when I can. The gall. The gall. Private investigators say he was not home. He was not home. Hurley Ho says he was not home. Let's just say that No Ass and Sebastian truly couldn't stand each other. Do you have any love for him at all? Respect for Seth? Or love for your wife at all? What are you doing? I will do what I can when I can. Wow. Wow. That is some nerve.
With him, Chris.
What does that got to do with finding Sebastian?
If he's going to be our spokesperson, I was just asking when you spoke with him.
I haven't come up with an answer yet. We've spoke with him. We told him we'll get back with him after we've done some consideration in talking with law enforcement, we'll get back to him and we'll let him know our decision.
So,
I know you're on board with that. I do. I mean, I know you're 1,000% on board.
What a simple question. When was the last time you spoke with Sebastian? Well, he's got to think about it. Then he goes on to say, I know you're on board with it. Is it the dogs that are lying or someone else? Look at how insane this is. And it's just ridiculous. Take a gander at this. This is from a long time ago. Well, I'd say about 2 months ago. There he is, no-ass, top contributor in a Facebook group. Look at that. Top contributor. He said, yes, I am confirming that the dogs had a scent that led to the construction site. Now he's saying that the dogs were dishonest. He says no signs or evidence reveals Sebastian was there. Please keep in mind that dog tracking isn't as credible as you think. Okay, we're back to the dogs lying. He said the idea that someone hurt Sebastian and threw him into wet, fresh, paved driveway is funny. Who's getting a ha-ha out of that? Because I'm not. He says to bury a body in concrete, it would need to be at least 12 inches thick. Secondly, you have to smooth out the concrete and finish it before it's dried. All of that is done while the concrete is poured and being set. This is freaking twisted. Crystal clear to me. Crystal clear to me. So in the case of Sebastian Rogers, the dogs are not credible, not as credible as you think, and he even went on to say that some of these dogs are dishonest. Damn. I learn something new every day. Dogs find more missing people than detectives do.
Board with Mr. Mathis. I got that. I'm not taking that away from you.
So, Chris, I understand like every marriage is different and husband-wife aspect. You seem very protective of Katie and her having conversations with or without you. But like I said before you came on, I do believe that Katie is the one who, and I'm not saying it's because she knows what happened to Sebastian, but she was the last person that was with him. And so she does hold the most information, at least up until the point that he went missing.
What information do you think she holds?
Well, I'm going to get to that.
Well, then do me a favor. Let's just get to it.
Okay.
Don't pour gravy on the mashed potatoes. Just serve the stuff up.
Chris, I'm really trying to be respectful, and this is a very
I am too. So please just get to it.
Okay.
No,
so
you're
we would
interrupting.
really love to hear from Katie about his body language that day. We've heard from others who are not necessarily good sources about his body language at the bowling alley and his body language here and there. And so we're just really trying to pick up on Sebastian's mood because it could help us understand what led to him walking away off the front porch out the front door.
Well, that is something that if she decides to answer, that's on her. But what I know is even on video, Sebastian was having a great day. He was in a great mood. He got to go to BJ's. He had a colossal popcorn. He hung out with family.
STFU with the colossal popcorn. He was in a great mood. This is Don Wells 2.0. You can't be the historian if you weren't there. It's called hearsay. And why are they always on the colossal popcorn dick? What is the big deal about the damn popcorn? OJ and I had popcorn last night. After I got done with all my farming and everything I did yesterday. Why do they keep talking about the damn popcorn like it is so important? Unless it had been withheld from him for a long time. Why was this weekend special? Why all the insane punishments? And then he's treated like a king with the colossal popcorn, and he was in a great mood the weekend he disappears. I think it's because they withheld food from him so much. She mentions food all the time. Had to keep him out of food. Had to keep him out of food. Had to keep him out of food. It's not just raining in here, my friends. It is pouring. My goodness, what are you guys doing to me? Joy Callie, thank you for the Crime Lines and Laws memberships. If you received a membership today, you know how to keep it up. Please thank the person that gave you the membership. He was in a great mood. Had the colossal popcorn.
He went and played video games at Strike and Spare. After that, he went and had dinner at Roadhouse, Texas Roadhouse. He ate his whole meal. I mean, everything in the video, even the videos that Seth has seen, he doesn't show any negative signs of he's upset or anything like that. As far as we all know, Sebastian had a great day.
No, I mean, it sounds like a really great day. I mean, they did a lot. I was just curious. And like I said, I mean, every relationship is different, and you're protective of Katie and who she communicates without you. And I think that has, I think that has been a little bit difficult.
But right, hold on a second. But for the record, Katie can speak when she so chooses, and she's done interviews without me.
No, I'm not talking about interviews.
But she spoke without me.
Okay.
I want to clear up something that Chris said about Sebastian going to live with Seth. And Chris, you may ask, what does this have to do with Sebastian missing? It's all part of the narrative. It could mean he ran away. And that is, Chris, did you not say that he was not looking forward to going to live with his father?
Yes, I did state that.
Seth, did you know this?
Nope.
Chris, do you want to elaborate?
And I'll tell you why.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I will be glad to elaborate.
I don't think this happened. I just don't think this happened. Because if Sebastian was saying, I don't want to go live with my father, that would have been discussed before he went missing. You see, they keep using the word the narrative, the narrative, the narrative. Well, this narrative, the goalpost keeps getting moved. Because they have to have a reason that doesn't reflect upon anything going on in their home to why he would just walk out that front door, as they say. That's it.
Because common question.
Hold on, Chris. Hold on. I'm sorry, Seth. Start over. And then Chris, we'll go to you. Seth, go ahead.
But I know why I was putting him in online school. He needed his therapy to actually have been started with ABA, so on and so forth, before I put him back into the situation, because he's not ready for certain things.
Okay. So he was going to go.
I'm not going to set my son up for failure. I want my son to succeed.
He was going to homeschool until he was ready to go back to regular school. Is that what you're saying?
Correct. And it's not really homeschool. I mean, it's just online school.
Okay. Online, right. Online school. That's a better term. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have said homeschool. Right. Online school. Totally different.
Really quick, Chris, the day that they had on Sunday with the spaghetti pancakes and bragging to family and BJ's and Texas Roadhouse and bowling and all of these, like, it sounds like the best day ever. Was that like a normal weekend for them, or was it like, it just, I don't know. Was that like their normal weekend?
Right. Well, do me a favor. Let's pause that question because you just diverted away from what she asked, and let's clear this out.
Okay. Go ahead.
We
Chris.
want the facts. Let's get the facts straight.
Okay.
So yes, I did tell you Sebastian was not excited about going to his father's house because online school. Seth
school.
was aware of this because Seth stood in my house with me, Katie, and Sebastian in my kitchen and had this conversation where Seth asked his son about, you don't want to go to online school? And Sebastian's retort was, no, I don't. But I don't really care about playing tit for tat. I understand that this may be a reason why he wanted to run away, so to speak, if that's the case.
Right.
But we're not going into this. We're not going to play this tit for tat on social media. We're not doing this.
Okay. Seth, go ahead.
We're not going to play this tit for tat. You're the one that brought it up. You're the one that brought it up. You're the one that changes the subject. You only want to cherry pick the questions. By the way, it's 100% okay to not have the answer to a question that's asked of you. It's 100% okay. It's okay to say, hell, I don't know. But he seems to kind of want to have the answer to everything. And I still want to know what the hell a spaghetti pancake is. Because just thinking about it gives me morning sickness and I'm not even knocked up. What the hell is a spaghetti pancake? It's like those weird ass recipes we heard all the time with the Chris Watts case. They had some real weird ass recipes. Fried pizza, I mean, all kinds of weird stuff. The fuck is that? Goodness. Yeah, somebody Google that shit for me. Make some of that this weekend for DT Driver and OJ. Put the link up if anybody wants to come up. Little Bit, are you in here?
Chris, unbeknownst to you, had already talked to Sebastian. He knew this wouldn't be a permanent thing. And me and him had already spoke.
Well, that right there is a conversation you should have had with Katie and myself about what your plans were.
I'm sorry, do you want?
Say that one more time. I'm sorry.
What Seth was saying is that if I had known the conversation that him and Sebastian had, then I would know the whole thing. But the downside is that's where Seth should have had that same conversation with me and Katie, and that didn't happen. But this goes right back to, here's the thing. If you're saying that because he didn't want to go live with his dad, he potentially ran away, is that a possibility? Sure.
Little Bit, welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. Have you ever heard?
Thank you, ma'am.
Have you ever heard of spaghetti pancakes?
I have not, but I am going to Google it.
I just Googled it.
Oh.
What they were talking about.
What's it say?
Here, I'll put it up real quick. Hang on. Spaghetti pancakes. I have spaghetti squash. There's pancake spaghetti pancakes. Now, I don't see this bitch making any of this stuff. Hang on, look at this. What is this?
Oh. Mm.
I mean, are they like funnel cakes?
Well, it looks like hold up. That's real spaghetti.
Uh-huh.
So what? They just like put it in a pan and kind of crisp it to make a circle, and then flip it. Put some butter and syrup on it.
I mean, it kind of looks like a funnel cake to me. This woman doesn't scream Chef Boyardee to me, let alone making something like this. I think we're going to have to do a show about spaghetti pancakes. All right, so back to it. What do you think about all the craziness that went on this week? Matter of fact, I haven't gone through all of it, but old No Ass was on another channel, Terry Lynn, and he was flat out flirting with her. Did you see
That
any?
was disgusting. Yes, and it was disgusting of him. His wife is, not far from him, apparently sleeping, and that just goes to show you right there that what the waitress was saying when he'd go out of town before he blocked his Facebook, some of the things he was following. That's not indicative of a married man, a faithful married man, which hence he's been married 5 times. He's absolutely sick. I don't know about anybody else, but I just want 5 minutes, well, 10 actually, to be able to have a conversation with him. And I would like to have it face to face, and not in the same way that he was trying to tell her, oh, it could be fun. Because it wouldn't, excuse me, nothing would be fun about it. Because somebody needs to shut that man down. This is crazy. My emotions are up and down. I get excited when I saw that picture, and then you get to looking at it, and then you're just like, okay, that's not a real picture. Is it, this is, I saw what I saw in that video of the garbage truck. It's just way too much. We're not getting any information, much more from TBI, which still is discouraging to me. And, here in Oklahoma, we don't always get, the updates that regular, but we get a whole heck of a lot more than that, especially on a child that's missing like that with that much attention.
God, girl, in Oklahoma, we get too much information. I'm like, are you people telling me something again? It's like, I got it. I got it.
Right. And I think that will help, put a little bit of fire out. Even if, like I said before, even if they just say, look, we're still working on it or whatever, but these parents are really starting to just take over way too much on this case. And it's not parents, obviously. Katie's lack of talking, Chris's too much of talking, and Seth, I don't think he knows which way to go. But the best thing he could have done was got Chloe and Michelle. I think that's really helped.
Well, my heart breaks for him that this picture was floating around. Of course he wants it to be his son.
Yeah.
But what a cruel thing to do to him. Now, I don't know if I'm going to go through it today when Chris was openly flirting with Terry Lynn. But it's been spread around the old internet that, people were reaching out to him asking, like, what were you doing? What were you doing? He said, I like her jugs.
Oh. Well, I missed that part.
I like her jugs.
Okay.
Well,
that's the only thing he's been honest about.
So here's me. I have to go look it up, and I'm like, oh, she's a busty girl. All right. So that's how that really. I like her jugs. Damn.
He's a God, dog it.
I like her
And
jugs.
I didn't realize that Seth went the whole month. I know he had like a work conflict, so he had to skip a weekend or something like that. But I didn't realize he had gone the whole month of February without seeing him. I knew Chris did, but that was news to me, unless I just didn't put it together.
Well, my opinion only is that I think she's kind of a letter of the law type of woman. And if you can't make your weekend, then you miss the next weekend. Oh, and guess what? The next weekend, we're going to be busy. For some reason, Sebastian was very alienated from these two men, not from school, not from other relatives, but from these two men the month of February. And I think there's a lot to it. I think there's also a lot to all the memberships that are coming in. What are you doing, Muscles and Mascara? I like your jugs, Muscles. I like your jugs, Muscles.
Like your muscle.
Goodness.
I'm sorry.
No, I'm talking because why? I understand. I see where people got that.
Right.
But that is a conversation that Seth and I had privately. You know, I'm sorry, but we're not going to sit here and drag certain things into this. It has nothing to do with it. I told Seth, you know, basically we should all go to church. We should pray. That's exactly what it was in reference to.
Understood. Seth, go ahead. It's your turn now.
There's a better way to say it, Chris.
Okay, not
For
semantics.
you to think
Let's
that I
not-
don't go to church.
Seth, I didn't say anything about you not going to church or
semantics.
going to church. Can we
Is
go
that
to the next
define
question?
Sebastian?
No, it's not. Can we move to the next question?
All right, thank you.
Okay. How about this? Because you guys have been on here for almost 3 hours, and I really appreciate it. And I do think Chris and Seth need to talk off air. Let's talk about what we do know. We do know, and this is how we started out the live stream. We do know that Sebastian was last seen publicly at Texas Roadhouse on Sunday. We know he was seen on camera taking out the garbage at some point.
Correct.
We know that there is a possibility that the cameras did not pick up Seth leaving the house because it was so dark.
Sebastian.
Actually, Sebastian. Not
I'm
Seth.
sorry. What did I say? I'm sorry.
You
I'm so
said
sorry.
Seth.
Seth, I'm sorry. You're not missing Seth. You're right here. Sebastian.
Hang on. Do we really know that Sebastian was seen on camera taking the trash out? Because No Ass has also said that it was too dark to make him out. Well, I'd be wanting to know who was taking my trash out.
You know,
The capture we have is of Sebastian getting out of the car at the restaurant, not getting back in. Think about that. I'm not saying he didn't get back in the car. How do you get the CCTV of him getting out of Katie's car and not getting in?
Oh, they got it with him getting out of the car and going into the restaurant, or walking out of the restaurant.
Nope, Seth said getting out of the car.
I know this is what I feel that's a possibility. I just throwing it out there. I feel like something terrible happened to Sebastian that night, and I feel like he's not dead. I feel like he was handed off until he healed. And then what they were going to do with him after that, I don't know. Were the people just going to keep him, admit him, don't know. But I do feel like he probably sustained a lot of injuries, and he wasn't going to be able to be seen. And maybe that's just the hope in me that he is still on this earth. That little boy, young man, has that inverted chest, and my brother-in-law has that, and it's caved in so far it almost touches his spine right there, his vertebrae or whatever right there. And I noticed that Sebastian sometimes has to wear like a metal guard across his chest, because you can't play things like football, and you can't play anything, because if you get hit there, that's it.
Well, and they kept him out of physical sports and things like that.
Right.
I really wish they could put the actual facts together for us. Not that we're investigating anything, but there's a difference between 6 a.m. and 6:30.
There is.
There's a difference between getting out of the car at the restaurant as opposed to leaving the restaurant and getting in the car. And there's a lot. And we cannot forget that on the 27th or 28th of February, don't quote me, there was a very important custody hearing between Noas and Nina in regards to the child Faith.
Right. And I think they were wanting him to testify, or we're going to have him testify.
He's listed on there.
Yeah. So maybe they were also going over things that he was going to say, and that could have, sparked an argument.
Mm-hmm. Chrissy F said, I know people keep comparing him to Don Wells. I think Don is much nicer. Don was always only an asshole when he was shit-faced.
Right.
Sad day in America when Don Wells looks good. Think about that. Don, you're our man right now.
Maybe Don should give Chris some classes.
Damn. Way to go, Don.
I'd like to be listening.
Yeah, I understand. I hear you. Sebastian was not seen, a possibility that Sebastian was not seen leaving the house because it was too dark. Okay. There were certain scent dogs that hit on Sebastian. There were 3 of them that went down to the retaining pond. According to Chloe, that retaining pond has been searched.
It was actually been drained, and it has been walked and searched.
Okay, so that's good. I think that's what we know about that night and the hours before he went missing. I think that's all we know for certain. Now, I want to ask all of you, what is the next step? Chloe and Heather, I'll go to you 2 first, and then I'll go to the two gentlemen.
I'm sorry, my dog was barking. What did you say?
That's okay. I said, what is the next step? What is the next step for you? What is the next step for the public? What would you like us to do? What do you think you guys are going to do?
Well, for us right now, we are really focused on getting Q in. Chloe and I are working on a report and some maps to try to give them an idea of areas that need to be searched or researched. And I think really the next big step is getting us all on the same page and working together.
Mm-hmm.
And even though this is a mess right now, I think this is
Well, it's beyond a mess. And I thought that the olive branch had been extended both ways. And as we sit here today, we can tell from that conversation that they're not going to work together. They don't get along. They have a lot of resentment. They have a lot of contempt for each other. Now I'm going to go ahead against my better judgment, and we're going to look through. This is from our friend Sweetie Pilo. Terry Lynn tells off no ass. Listen to this.
Hideous human being, the way he's treating her right now. Now, what you'll find if you go back later and you listen to this whole call, eventually he starts actually flirting with her like crazy, talking about wanting to meet up in person. Not even kidding.
Calm your tits. It's okay. It's gonna be all right. Calm down.
Yeah, we'll see.
Calm down. I mean, you're just. I mean, it's not gonna always work out your way. Life just doesn't always work out your way.
Trust me.
It
I
doesn't.
can't wait for this to be over with and we find out and we get all the answers. Because when we do, let me ask you a question.
What?
When we get the answers.
What? You want me to apologize to you?
You're gonna go public and apologize?
Let me tell you something.
Are you gonna
sir.
go public and
With your
apologize?
mouth, it'll be a cold day in hell.
Exactly.
Until you tell me the truth and stop being a narcissistic piece of shit asshole talking to me like that. Hell no. Never.
Fucking mirror. It's not real hard.
Hey, you better point. Listen, you know when you point a finger like you're doing right now, tell me to look in the mirror. Hey, turn around. You got 3 more pointing at you. I'm not the one being scrutinized by the nation. You are.
I'm not worried about the fucking
You
nation.
should
That's where
be.
you're wrong.
You should be out there looking for Sebastian.
We have been.
Bullshit.
Why are you saying bullshit?
Because it's bullshit.
Are you holding our hands? Are you
Do
walking
you need
around
your
town
hands
with
held,
us?
sweetie?
No, I'm asking you. You're
I'm
saying
asking-
this, then we're
This could be over a month old, but I
Woo! And then he has the nerves to say, I like her jugs. She's sitting there telling him off, and he's hanging around for the whipping.
He likes it.
He does. I think he's, it's like Dolores said, I think he's got a humiliation kink. And
This
you have
is some foreplay for him.
You have to hear the whole thing. I know there's some people that are like very sympathetic to Mr. Proudfeet. You have to hear the whole thing. But for whatever reason, he was all about meeting up with her. He was complimenting her. And she's like, no, I'm not having this.
I hadn't heard it until I listened to J is for Justice's live. And I was like, wow, this is nuts. He is just crazy. Okay, guys, I'm going to speed it up over to this one part. This is the part that really just made me want to punch him right in the face. Sorry, not to be aggressive, but he's the worst. The worst of the worst. Let me get it. It's right about here.
Sweetie Pilo is cracking me up. He is the worst of the worst. Again, can we have a round of applause for Don Wells? Because he's looking pretty damn good right now. Let's go ahead and light it up for Don. Now, according to Mr. Proudfeet, when he hooked up with Hurley Ho, he thought it was just going to be a sexual thing. Who would even say that?
When he hooked up with who?
Sebastian's mama. Hurley Ho.
Oh. Okay.
Hey, sometimes you get more with YouTube than you do news, but local news, I mean, I'm local, sure, I'm local. But the news people, a lot of older people, they're not, especially in the country out here, they're not actually watching YouTube. Trust me, they're not watching. Those people needed that information more so that were out there. Agree or not?
I agree. Everybody should have the information regardless. I don't care where it comes through or how it comes through. They all need it. Doesn't matter.
And did he ever have to sit in urine?
Say again now?
Urine in a pull-up?
At our house, at school?
I guess I didn't. I was unaware that he even wore pull-ups.
Yes. So here, let me bring you up to speed on that deal. Sebastian has pull-ups that he wears because Sebastian likes to pee in his pants and defecate in his pants. It has become a problem at school.
Oh, he likes to do
to
it.
the point where they've actually had to say something to us. So we even told him, look, either you figure out how to go to the bathroom or you're going in pull-ups. And for the longest time, there has sprouts where he would do what he was supposed to do, and then, he wouldn't.
Okay, can I explain HIPAA to you? By the
Okay, this makes me friggin' livid. This makes me livid. I do not want to go into anyone's business. Don't want to dox anybody. Isn't that the catchphrase around YouTube? I've been doxed, I've been doxed, I've been doxed. They're doxing. Listen. Anybody ever have a child that wet the bed?
Yes.
Anybody ever had a teenage son that would have accidents? I'm not gonna play Mr. Wizard right here and explain what happens when boys get older. We already heard old Harley Ho say, for obvious reasons, she was not going to go into Sebastian's room. Now we know what she was alluding to, and I think it's damn disgusting. Who would put their 15-year-old in pull-ups and say, well, if you're going to keep having these accidents, then you're going to wear pull-ups. This is disgusting. This
And
is
Bruce,
disgusting.
I doubt that he liked. Come on, he liked to pee and defecate. Come on, even if he did, let's just say for whatever reason he did, you don't say that. That's horrible.
It is horrible. It's absolutely horrible. So on one hand, all three of them say that he has sensory issues to where he will not go outside without shoes on. But we're supposed to believe he likes to shit himself? He likes to piss himself? No. That is ridiculous.
By the way, and I need to. It's not releasing the medication. I have to tell you that. That's not the HIPAA laws. I have to tell you that. It's not. It's not. You are allowed to tell the medication. Just need to let you know that that's not the HIPAA law.
Doesn't that just make you sick what he said about Sebastian? He likes, or he's basically like he's known at school for peeing in his pants. Let me play that part. It's a little bit earlier than what I just played you, so you can hear it and hear the context surrounding it, okay? That just, it boiled my blood when I heard this, and I think it will boil yours as well. It's about here. Now, she does slip some words, some pretty, some cuss words and stuff, so we're in true crime, guys. It's gonna happen.
This type situation. A lot of kids don't like that, and most of the kids talk about things that he's not into. He is very much, in a conversation, he will talk about Minecraft, and most kids don't play the Minecraft. They're all playing whatever other games. Sebastian is very, driven into his conversation, so whatever he's talking about, if you're talking about something else, he tries to drive you back, and people just don't have that kind of interest. At school, he's known for being in his pants. It's a number of things. He's very awkward, but he's courteous.
What the fuck? Excuse my language? At school, he's known for peeing in his pants? Well, that's funny, asshole. His teachers seem to remember other qualities about your stepson that you never deserved.
Can you believe that? speaking about his missing stepson, just so off the cuff, that Sebastian's known for peeing and defecating in his pants. It's like, what gives him the right? That's not his biological child. It's not even his business at that rate. It's Katie's business. It's her right if she would like to address that, but it's certainly not the right of Chris Proudfoot. And he just inserts himself every potential possibility he has. He just inserts himself. It makes me sick. What I really got mad about though the other night with the Web Sleuths live,
I'm muted. So I'll get to that in just a second because I want to hear what she has to say. Pretty much anything that Chrissy Poo has had to say, people have brought up to Seth. And either he's confirmed it, been confused, or denied it. I think we can tell the difference between Mr. Proudfeet and Seth, that one is purposely trying to publicly humiliate Sebastian, and the other isn't having it. He really doesn't want to answer these questions. Have you noticed the difference, or am I reaching too far a little bit?
No, I've noticed it. I can hear the disdain that Chris has for Sebastian. I mean, he gets, I think everybody gets under Chris's skin, but Sebastian, for whatever reason, Chris just, well, probably because he's between him and, his mom. But that right there tells you the evil I feel that was in Chris. Going back and listening, to this same interview, I had different feelings about it each time. But, the more and more I hear it, the more and more just the disdain. A step parent, and he's claiming he loves him. You protect that child. And even if that just means the reputation of the child, and that is just throwing, hey, look, this is what this kid did, so be on my side, and, this and that. And he's basically telling you he doesn't like the kid, and here are the reasons why. He's just admitting everything. He's just saying it all different.
I agree. And I just think it's bad enough that Sebastian is missing. We don't have to humiliate him. It's all this deflection, so nobody looks at what was going on in the house. It's almost victim blaming, in my opinion.
was that those are questions that Katie Proudfoot should have been answering. And instead, Chris gets up and just so angry, just full of rage as he goes back and forth with Trish. By the way, she did an amazing job. Trisha did amazing dealing with his insanity. And then when Seth got up and he's throwing out F-bombs and bullshit and all this stuff, I just don't, there's no love in my heart for this guy. I think I was saying this morning to you, Mar, wasn't I, in that chat? We were both in Jules' chat. I was like, I don't think we've seen a guy quite this horrible ever, maybe. I mean, Barry Murphy was really bad, though, too. But Chris Proudfoot, he's horrible. He's the worst. Anyway, let's get like 4 more minutes in, and then, guys, I have to go. I got to go pick up my kids, but I will be back on tomorrow to go over some more stuff, okay? So we'll finish out this.
Unfortunately, it is probably the worst thing
No, I understand autism.
that I've heard him ever ask.
Now, did y'all lock the child's door? Meaning, Sebastian, I hate to say child because I'm reading these questions on this.
It's on the screen when the call was.
Did y'all lock the door from the outside or no?
On his bedroom door?
Yes.
No.
Okay. Thank God.
Yeah, I don't know why people would come up with that, but okay.
Okay, I'm making sure.
See, some of those I find very unique, and I'm kind of like, the thought that people have to even bring up such questions is unique in itself. It makes me wonder, like, are you serious?
Now, here's my thing. And you might not like this one.
Yeah, go ahead.
Why choose to go to a YouTube channel to talk and speak first instead of actually speaking to a news reporter? I know that, hey, sometimes you get more with YouTube than you do news, but local news, I mean, I'm local, sure, I'm local. But the news people, a lot of older people, they're not, especially in the country out here, they're not actually watching YouTube. Trust me, they're not watching. Those people needed that information more so that were out there. Agree or not?
I'm agree. Everybody should have the information regardless. I don't care where it comes through or how it comes through. They all need it. Doesn't matter.
And did he ever have to sit in urine?
Say again now?
Urine in a pull-up?
At our house, at school? Can I
guess
specifics?
I didn't. I was unaware that. Oh, fuck up. What? Listen, wrong. You do. Because people want you. Listen, I'm going to tell you what the public want to hear.
Right, but hold on a minute.
They want to hear a mother scream from the rooftops for their baby. Trust me, that's what they want. Now, let me ask you this. You have a sorted. Let me ask you a question. Well, we'll get there. We're going to get there. I need to talk to you.
How are we going to get there?
Because I like to move around a little bit. You have a sordid past.
I have a what?
You have a little bit of a sordid past. You do.
A sordid past?
Yes, you do.
Okay.
With some tendencies, and you do.
Like what?
Well, some violent tendencies.
Such as?
I'll let you speak, and you might not want to talk about it with some.
I'm asking you.
Well,
like you're just saying this, but I'm asking you for what?
Rachel Rogers.
What about her? My third ex-wife.
Yes.
What about her?
What happened to her was not okay.
My third ex-wife. He's as bad as Drew Peterson. These women, except they're all alive, he treats women like shit. Okay. Oh, that's my third. That's my third ex-wife. Listen to it again. He didn't want to hear anything about Rachel.
Now, let me ask you this. You have a sordid. Let me ask you a question. Well, we'll get there. We're going to get there. I need to talk to you.
How are we going to get there?
Because I like to move around a little bit. You have a sordid past.
I have a what?
You have a little bit of a sordid past. You do.
A sordid past?
Yes, you do.
Okay.
With some tendencies, and you do.
Like what?
Well, some violent tendencies.
Such as?
I'll let you speak, and you might not want to talk about it with some.
I'm asking you. Well, like you're just saying this, but I'm asking you for what?
Rachel Rogers.
What about her? My third ex-wife.
Yes.
What about her?
What happened to her was not okay.
What do you mean? What happened to her?
I think we both know what.
No.
Yeah.
She's lucky to be alive. How about that? She's lucky to be alive. And no, I am not going to bother this woman. I am not going to try to get her on the channel. If she reaches out to someone, I hope they give her the platform. If she reaches out to me, I'll let her have the platform. She's lucky to be alive. And just like Susan said, he has a pattern. Okay? He barely knows this woman. I mean, he's talked to her, 30 minutes of his whole life and refers to her as Jugs.
Yes.
No, you'd be highly wrong to assume anything.
I'm not assuming. I'm not assuming. I would never assume.
So then where's your evidence and what are you getting at?
Evidence? What? So she would be a liar. Gotcha.
Rachel hasn't said shit.
Okay. Rachel hasn't said shit. Got it. Rachel has not said shit. That's fine. Okay. That's fine. If you say Rachel hasn't said shit, then Rachel didn't say shit. I'm going to let Rachel say no shit.
Okay.
I'm just saying. And you don't want to talk about anything with Rachel?
Like what? What is there to talk about?
That anything that happened bad to her?
Nothing that I know of bad happened to her. That's what I'm telling you, and I mean, it's a fact.
Okay. I'm going to leave it there on that with Rachel.
Okay.
How about Vanessa?
What about her?
Nothing bad with her either, right?
Nope.
Okay. I'm just asking.
No, here's my thing. You're insinuating
No,
violent
I'm not
tendencies.
insinuating. I'm just asking a question.
Well, I mean, well, you're not asking. You're just asking about my ex-wives, and I've told you
No,
about it.
so I'm just asking you. So you said it wasn't nothing happened bad with Rachel, nothing happened with Vanessa, nothing with Stephanie, none of these wives.
Nope.
So
I wonder if one day those ex-wives will be witnesses at a trial. And if so, I mean, I hope that nothing bad happened to Sebastian. But if it did and he's responsible, I hope that we get to watch his trial at the very least.
if one of them said anything and there's evidence of that, that would
I don't
still
know
be a
anything
lie,
about
right?
Rachel. What happened?
I'd love to see the evidence.
I'm just asking. I'm asking. I didn't. I said, would it still be a lie? Yes or no?
Yeah.
So they. So, but if they came and they said something happened to them, would they be a liar? And I wish my mother would leave me alone right now. Would they be a liar? Yes or no?
Yeah.
Okay. Were you in the Navy?
Yes.
Okay. So I'm asking a question. If nothing that happened with abuse in that Navy. Yes or
no? No.
So if anything comes out, it's a lie.
So you keep insinuating.
No,
like
I'm not.
there's
I'm
something
trying to.
hide.
I'm trying to give you a chance to speak and tell the truth. Is what I'm trying to do.
Yeah, I'm telling
I'm
you.
trying to be nice and give you a little grace here.
Okay.
Damn.
And I'm answering your question.
Because I really don't like anybody that would lay their hand on a soul, not even a dog or a cat.
Okay.
Okay. You're so right. There is about 10 personalities coming out in this call.
So you've never laid your hands on a female?
No.
Oh my God.
Got it.
Thank you, Nanya.
And you can go to bed tonight and swear that that never happened. Nothing ever by your hand.
Nope.
As God is your witness.
You got my answer. Keep moving.
As God is your
God,
witness.
he's a miserable soul in me.
On your mother.
Worse.
Are we three?
Are you?
I'm asking you to move along with these questions. There's
Why
not,
is that question bothering you?
it's not bothering me, but you don't understand. I've been up for over 12 hours. I'd like to go to bed at some point, so I'm trying to be nice and answer your questions. So move along.
Okay, now he's lazy ass. I've been up for 12 hours. The fuck he talking about? I sleep about 5-6 hours a night.
Right.
24 minus 6. Maybe 7 on a good night. I've been up over 12 hours. The hell's wrong with you? Next thing you know, he's going to be on one of these shows with a CPAP machine on. I've been up over 12 hours.
Along, please.
You have a lot of aggression.
No, I'm tired.
I am too.
So can we move along?
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Wow. I think that I think Seth needs a lawyer to
Do
get
you
those records.
recall when you were on another show again? You did say something about locks on that bedroom door of Sebastian's. Just want you to know. I want you to
Yeah, no, I didn't, but okay, keep moving.
Oh shit. Okay. Okay. Now, was there? Were you dishonorably discharged from the Navy? Yes or no?
Nope.
Okay. And is there a reason why you wouldn't let Sebastian around your daughter?
We have family and personal reasons for yes.
And I mean,
am I going to go into detail with you?
You don't
No,
have to.
and I don't go into detail with anybody.
I know some. You don't have to. Trust me. You don't have to.
Guys, I really am sorry. This is such a short live, but I will be back on. Thank you so much for being here.
I love Sweetie Pilo. And J for Justice got it from Terry Lynn's channel. I couldn't find the original, so I just went with Sweetie Pilo because she's a friend of the channel. I haven't slept in 12 hours. What the hell are you talking about, dude? The hell are you talking about? Mike C., I know you are a local. I have been seeing you in chat. Would you like to come up and talk to us? I totally understand if you don't feel comfortable, but I'm telling you, this is a really nice bunch of people, okay? There's a really, really nice bunch. Now, I'm going to go through the whole interview tomorrow or over the weekend, depending on what we have going on tomorrow. Anybody up for discussing more of no asses passed. Because what I have found between him and all the exes, he has a pattern. Is anybody up for that? If not,
Yeah.
I'll leave it alone. I'll leave it alone if you don't want me to. You
I'm
tell
there
me.
for it.
I know you will be a little bit. There you go. Feel the Love said, yep. Feel the Love. I would love for you to get a hold of Terry Lynn. I know you mod for her. I would love to have her come up on panel. I like when creators can work together and not against each other. And I hate the word creator. I hate creator. Look at the creator. Look at the creator. I only know one creator, and that's God. Or that's my sub. They're always taking my subs. That means subservient. We have friends here, and I don't create shit. We get together and we talk. Okay? I just keep it easy for everybody. Does that make sense?
Yep.
All right, you guys. I know it's a little shorter live than we normally have, but I got a lot of stuff I got to work on today. You know, I've been doing all that farming. Did everyone see all my farming I was doing yesterday?
You're doing a good job.
Oh my gosh, it's been crazy. I need to get a straw hat.
I will send you one.
Okay, I need a straw hat, everybody. I'm telling you, I've got to get to all this farming. If I do one more thing in this yard, you're not gonna be worried about old Chris Proudfoot anymore. You're me calling Greg Proudfoot, DT Proudfoot, because he's gonna be pissed. He already told me. He's like, I'm so sick of you fucking stuff up. That's gonna cost me all this dirt work and everything. And I'm like, don't worry, it's under control. I watched this video on YouTube. And his face, you ought to see him. It's like I've got a dick sticking out of my head. He looks at me and he goes, hold on. You have a YouTube channel. And I'm like, yeah. Enough said. Enough said. That's kind of where he's at. All right, you guys, you have a great rest of your day. If I don't see you on Facebook or see you in one of the Discord groups, I am going to start using the second channel next week. I'm going to get with our friend Kat. So if you're not subscribed to the second channel, please do. And I would like for Mike C to please email me. Okay, here is my email right here. Because I would love, love, love to talk to Mike C. Just like I love talking to all of you. So, a little bit. We're on our way out. Thank you again, girl, for coming up.
Thank you.
Uh-oh, here we go. There's DT Proudfoot. Who wants a Sunday show? I do. All right. He's voting already. He better get his dad joke ready. All right, you guys are the absolute best. Thank you so much. Mod Squad, the best friends on the tube. Y'all have a great rest of your Thursday. We're out a little bit.
You do the same. All right. Thank you. Bye-bye.